Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast and this week's free episode. If you want bonus episodes every week, check out patreon.com/basementboyspodcast, where we upload an additional weekly episode for $2 a month. You can also get access to bonus footage and behind the scenes. Regardless, we appreciate all your support, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast. We're the Basement Boys.
This is Boys of the Basement.
Zach, how are your knees doing?
My knees are bad. Very bad.
So, for those of you who are unaware, welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast with the Basement Boys. I had to do the Patreon episode solo this week because, and this isn't a meme, your knees were in such great pain. You couldn't do the podcast.
It was more so that I just decided to sleep due to the pain in my knees than that I couldn't do the podcast due to the pain in my knees.
I'm going to turn the gain up. Oh, Zach. Oh, shoot. Hold up.
What?
We have the AC on.
Fwick.
Do you want to go turn the AC off and I'll talk about the podcast? So welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast. We're the Basement Boys. So we're on a variety of platforms now. But I'm honestly curious, like, what platforms people genuinely listen and watch on. So we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast. We're also on Breaker. We're on Anchor. Like, if you watch...
Don't forget about Tinder.
We're on Tinder. If you listen to the podcast on any of those platforms, I would love to know if you could message me directly. Please PM me.
On Tinder.
Please send me an SMS text message telling me what platform you listen on. You gotta adjust the beans in the beanbag chair.
Good.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out like where our audience is kind of situated. Obviously, we can look at the views on each platform and see which platforms are getting the most viewers, but that's not entirely indicative of actual retention, I guess.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is I know all these big words and you don't, so I'm better.
Clearly.
But welcome back. So yeah.
Indubitably.
You should probably talk a little bit about your knees and why they're bad.
Okay, so my knees are very bad. They're fucked, and I honestly, my boss is recommending I go get surgery on my knees because they hurt often, and like every time I like crouch down or stand up, anything, you can most times hear them crack.
Of course.
This is due to the fact that I've now spent 3 years working on a concrete warehouse floor with nothing in my shoes to cushion my feet. And so my knees take all of that force.
Hey, stop eating socks.
Socks are a sin.
Get out of here, Bowser.
Who are you?
Get the boom out of the shot. Yeah, so you worked, and what's worse is you lived
also
in a basement
for about 1.5 years of those 3 years.
Where the floor is concrete. So
yep.
Not only get the boom out of the shot.
I don't know how that's better.
Not only...
I only have to sock myself.
Did you turn the AC off, right? It's just going to take a while. Okay. I was wondering why I hadn't turned it off yet. So you worked in a factory with concrete floor. Then you lived in a basement with a concrete floor. You're still living in a basement now. All right?
This one has carpeted floor, though.
Don't
we went
get
over
any
this in
ideas.
the first episode. What?
Why is your laptop have an alarm clock?
Oh, because when my phone was broken.
Huh.
And I had to wake up at 8 a.m.
That's kind of neat. Maybe I should start doing that. Is that what the cool kids do?
No, the cool kids,
the kids
wear a
that are
bracelet
cool?
that shocks the shit out of them.
Do you still have that?
Yeah, it's over there on my desk.
I might have to borrow it from you. My sleep schedule's gotten so bad, bro. And that's just kind of been the roller coaster of this podcast. Like, the first couple
episodes. Speaking of roller coasters.
Oh, God. The first couple episodes of this podcast, I was complaining about having a bad sleep schedule. And then, like, episode 6, 7, 8, I had a good sleep schedule. I was going to bed every night at, like, 10.
Bullshit.
I was going to bed every night at, like, 10 for 2 weeks. 3 weeks. And now, I went to bed last at 6 a.m. technically yesterday. And I woke up at 5 p.m. yesterday. So today, I'm trying to pull an all-nighter. And also, we should mention, this is the first time we've ever done a podcast this early in the morning. It's 8 in the morning.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and honestly, I like this. I like doing it off of my overnight shift instead of waking up and trying to, like, pull myself together.
So I woke up at 5 p.m. yesterday. It's 8 a.m. today. If I can make it to 5 p.m. today, it'd be 24 hours. I'm trying to like reset my sleep schedule around 10. So I'd have to stay up till 10, which would be about 29 hours awake. I think I can do it. I might steal one of your Red Bulls again, like the last time I pulled an all-nighter, but I think I can do it.
I believe in you.
But it's been a roller coaster. And speaking of roller coasters, we bought season passes to our home park, our local amusement park, if you want to call it that, and that's Hershey Park. I love Hershey Park. If you've ever had Hershey's chocolate candy, if you've ever eaten a Hershey's chocolate bar, just know that I have dipped the tips of my fingers directly into that chocolate before it was formed into that bar because of how much time I spent at Hershey.
You just sit on the factory tour dipping your little mitts into it the whole time. You just, all right, bring in the next batch. I
love Hershey, bro. Why is this mic? Maybe it's far away. The mic seems so quiet today. I'm gonna have to do actual editing work on the audio for this episode.
Apologies.
No, it's fine. It's not your fault. I don't know why the microphone.
My mic.
I don't know, man. So we got season passes to Hershey Park, which we did think about for a while. It's not something we just decided on instinct. On instant. It wasn't a snap decision, is what I'm trying to say. We talked about it, and yeah, COVID is going back up in America, but there's like 3 reasons.
It's not going up in my heart.
Well, that's not good. We don't like to hear that. There are like 3 reasons we decided to get season passes to this amusement park. Well, there's like 4. There's
like 27 reasons, and we're gonna go through them all right now.
There's a handful.
Number 27.
Yes, COVID's going down in America, or going up in America. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Yes, COVID is going up in America, but our state is seeing one of the biggest declines in the nation. And I know your counterpoint is, well, if you don't stay inside, you're only, contributing to the problem. I have been quarantined since March.
Since the dawn of time.
I have not left this apartment. Oh, it's the panels falling down. I thought it was a bug for a second.
Me too.
It literally sounded
actually terrified.
It literally sounded like a giant bug
terrified.
behind us. It's just the panels falling. I don't care anymore.
It's just the podcast set crumbling around us.
But I've been quarantined in this apartment since March. I have not gone anywhere outside this apartment other than my parents' house, my girlfriend's house, and the Best Buy in Christiana, Delaware. And that wasn't my decision.
You're there.
I was helping my dad with something.
Ah.
Okay? So, I need to get out. Third reason we decided to do this is because we're going to be safe about it. We're going to wear masks. Actually, we have to wear masks to get into the park. And we have to keep the masks on the entire time. We're not going to come into close contact with people as much as we can. Obviously, riding rides next to random people is a little worrisome. But the one cool thing Hershey Park's doing is they're, keeping social distancing throughout the lines of their rides. So we're not going to be, cramped up in a line waiting for a roller coaster.
That looks pretty neat.
And a fourth thing that made me want to do this is Hershey Park, as an amusement park, is requiring all guests to tell them what day you're visiting the park so they can log you in as a visitor and not go over maximum capacity according to our state laws right now and
Which is
our state regulations.
Very good.
So even if we wanted to go on a weekend, we could not go unless we reserve a spot, and then there's only so many spots available every day at the park. Yep. So they don't have a lot of people there, which is kind of cool. And then the 5th reason is I just want to record videos. I bought this GoPro primarily for roller coaster videos. The first time we're going, which is soon actually, I'm excited. It's gonna be 1-2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. The first time we're going, we're not gonna record anything. We are mostly going to have a good time, because not everything has to be content. It's financially beneficial if everything you do is content. I've honestly thought about that before, living my life where I try to monetize everything I do. Genuinely.
I feel like that would be exhausting, but I can see how you would go about doing it.
So Twitch streaming when I sleep, people stream themselves sleep. So streaming when I sleep, streaming every time I ever play a video game, recording videos and uploading those videos of cooking my meals, so cooking videos, recording vlogs, what I'm doing, I could publish a book just by taking journal entries every day. It would be a diary book, though it wouldn't be good, but
No.
people might buy it, and just monetizing everything you do. Obviously, that's not how we actually live our lives.
No.
But
I would like to start streaming cooking though. I just need to.
streaming cookie could be dope.
That would be.
Streaming cookies could be dope.
I would love to stream cookies.
I'd love to make cookies with you, Zach. I'd love
make
to learn
cookies
your
with you.
secret recipe, honestly.
My secret recipe.
You make good cookies.
It's the back of the Toll House bag.
Okay. Well, but yeah. So we got season passes to Hershey Park. We're going to be going to the amusement park a little bit. To make it financially viable, we have to go at least 4 times to make our season pass is
That's
worth
too
it.
many times.
But I want to go many more times than that. I'm excited. So yeah, the first time, we're going just to have fun. And we're also going to get like a lay of the land. I know the layout of the amusement park, but I mean more... You haven't... when was the last time you were there?
Remember when we went for school?
12th grade, you mean?
Yeah.
Like senior year? Yeah, I remember that. We went together. We were in the same group.
It was cool.
We were group buddies.
We were actually acting like friends that day.
We were friends, I would say, at that point.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Never
But at
again.
that point, we were friends in 12th grade.
Yeah. Good
but-
times.
We're low-key going to the park first to kind of establish where we want camera angles of things to be and like where we can get good shots of the amusement park. So that'll be fun. And then the second time we go will probably be our first amusement park video. What we're most likely going to do, I'm not going to lock this down 100%, but what we're most likely going to do is marathon a coaster, which I've never done greatly, like to an extreme extent. What marathoning a coaster is just riding the same coaster over and over and over again. The most I've ever done for that is the same coaster like 4 or 5 times in a row. But we're trying to hopefully succeed in doing is marathoning one coaster an entire day the amusement park's open and hitting at least 20. We're not doing the most extreme coaster there, so we can get 20 rides in without having...
To compete with other people who also want to ride the coasters.
Well, I was just going to say, like, if we rode... Not even the most extreme one there. If we rode Wildcat, which is a wooden coaster,
Yeah.
there 20 times, you would have a concussion because it's one of the roughest wooden roller coasters ever. It's so bumpy. I hate it.
Let's do it.
But I love it, but I hate that. I love that coaster, but I hate that coaster.
Let's get concussed, boys.
So we're riding a steel inverted coaster. It's going to be hype. Hopefully we can get those, like, at least 20. My goal is 20 in one day. That would be amazing. It'd be good content, too. It'd be very clickable. What I'm mostly excited for, though, Zach, is the first time we're riding the new coaster. I'm so hyped. I cannot wait. It's a B&M Hyper. A lot of people are, hyping it up as possibly the best B&M Hyper in America. I don't think it's the best B&M Hyper roller coaster in America. I think it'll be the second best. I don't think it'll beat out Diamondback at Kings Island because it's a shorter coaster than Diamondback, and Diamondback has more airtime hills. But this new coaster at Hershey Park, the name fucking stupid, but the new coaster coaster at Hershey Park is called Candemonium, and it's insane. It's a B&M Hyper.
Hey, I think I'm gonna get my season ticket refunded real quick.
No, dude, I love coasters.
Candemonium.
Candemonium.
Why?
It's such a dumb name because it's Hershey. They're a candy company, but
Yeah, you're not wrong.
it's
Is
actually
it bad that I didn't even make that connection?
well, they have 3 trains, and each of the roller coaster trains are different candies. So they have a Reese's train, a Twizzlers train, and I think one's Jolly Rancher. I could be wrong.
No, that's one of the heights.
I forget what.
Wait, can we take a... So they have their little, like, height chart,
Yeah.
and it's, like, the little, like, chocolate bar minis are for, like, people under 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way up to Jolly Rancher.
They're
as
called
the
little
tallest.
people, by the way.
I was talking about children.
Okay.
Are
Are Jolly Ranchers the tall? So like,
Jolly Ranchers are the tallest ones,
such
but you
a-
would think it would be Twizzlers.
yeah, it's such a weird height mechanic. So when you go to Hershey Park, your height is rated based off the candies, but the candies don't really make any sense. Yeah, you would think the tallest height would be Twizzlers. I don't know, man.
You would think Jolly Ranchers would be the shortest height.
I thought Twizzlers was the tallest, but maybe I'm forgetting. That's kind of crazy if it isn't. Hershey Park they're amazing at theming. I believe, and I'm not saying this because I live in Pennsylvania and Hershey Park is my nearest amusement park, therefore it's my home park. I have a lot of, state pride. But I think Hershey Park is one of the best theme parks in America. Not amusement parks. That's probably Cedar Point. Cedar Point has the best coasters. It has a lot of coasters, and a lot of them are good coasters. Hershey Park doesn't have the same coaster lineup as Cedar Point. Hershey Park's coaster lineup doesn't match that of Cedar Point, but on a theme park basis, not amusement park basis, on a theme park basis, Hershey Park is one of the best in America. Because
Yeah, Jolly Rancher is the tallest.
what are these ranking sizes? Okay, so let's go from the shortest to the tallest. So the shortest height at Hershey Park is under 36 inches.
3 feet.
Under 36 inches, it's a Hershey's Mini. Under 42 inches is a Hershey's Kiss. Under 48 is a Reese's. Under 54 is a Hershey's Chocolate Bar. Under 60 inches is a Twizzler, a very long piece of candy. And then 60 inches and taller is the tallest height requirement, and that's a Jolly Rancher. So we went from
the Jolly Ranchers, like in actual size, are like between a Hershey's Kiss and a Hershey's Miniature in like actual size.
Well, I don't understand why the second tallest level, the second tallest tier at Hershey Park is Twizzler, a long piece of candy, and then the tallest one is Jolly Rancher, something that like any child under 3 would choke on and die. Like, I don't know. But what was this? Oh yeah, Hershey Park is the best theme park in my opinion in the world. I think the only theme parks that, maybe not in the world, but in America, the only theme parks in America that come close to Hershey in theming and entertainment is maybe the Busch Gardens parks.
Yeah.
But like,
I've never been to one.
Hershey takes that chocolate candy theme and does it beautifully. Yeah, the name of the coaster being Candemonium is dumb, but it's so on brand for Hershey Park. And I'm excited because it's a good coaster. Like, I'm not going to let it dumb...
doesn't... I guess the math doesn't really add up for me because none of the... Is there another coaster that's named candy anything based?
You know, now that you bring it up, there really isn't any other candy-themed coasters, but they should be, in my opinion. Like, some of the coaster theming...
Oh, yeah.
Some of the coaster theming at Hershey doesn't really make sense because it's a candy-themed amusement park.
The only ride I can think of even is just the Kissing Tower.
Yeah, that's the one that takes you like up into the air.
On that.
Dude, we should go on the Kissing Tower, bro.
Dude, we should go on the Kissing Tower and then...
Listen, bro.
Bro.
You don't have to. If you don't want to, it's fine. But if
it's not gay to kiss your homies in the Kissing Tower.
If you wanted to go on the Kissing Tower, I'd be down to go on the Kissing Tower. So,
fellas, is it gay to go in the Kissing Tower with your homies?
I'm not gonna let a bad name ruin that coaster for me because it'll be. Yeah. I think it has potential to be like a top 10 coaster in America, and definitely top 2 B&M Hyper coaster. So I'm just so hyped.
Whatever that means.
And it's just a week and a half, 2 weeks away.
Yep.
I'm so hyped. We both got season passes. The plan originally was that I was going to get a season pass with a, all-year drink plan, and Zach was going to get a season pass with an all-year parking plan, because Zach is the one with the car, so he'll park, and then I can get free drinks for us, and we just share the drink. Because it's like a free, like, plastic cup drink.
I wanted my own cup.
And instead, Zach got his own all-year drinking plan, spending like $30 more, just because he didn't want to share drinks with me.
I wanted a cup.
It's messed up, man. It's messed
I'll
up.
still share drinks with you, just out of my cup.
Okay, so...
And your cup.
Maybe it's because I'm pulling it on either, but I'm all over the place. Can you explain to me then, like, what surgery you'd be getting on your knees?
Just knee surgery. I'm pretty sure it's the same, like, across the board or whatever. I legitimately have no idea. Mm-hmm. Just every time I bring up that my knees are, like, fucked, my boss is like, yeah, I got knee surgery when I was, like, 26. I'm like, all right.
Okay. So,
thank you.
But, like, maybe I'm dumb because I don't have any medical knowledge. But say you get knee surgery, wouldn't you have to just eventually get it again? If you keep working in that factory, your knees are going to degrade again?
I mean,
is it like a permanent fix for whatever's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
My knees are fucked. All right? In the long short, the medical term for my knee is fucked. Fuckeditis. Realistically, I think it would just be like to repair my knee, remove any fragments that may be there, and to like add a false
Remove any bad
cartilage.
parts.
Remove any bad parts of my bad knees, so the whole thing's gotta go. And then they'd be like, hey, fucking buy cushions for your shoes.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be permanent. Because he said he's had 3 knee surgeries, which to me means that he had one twice. So.
That's a yikes, dog.
Or maybe all 3 of them were on the same knee.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel bad for you. You're 22 years old.
I mean, alternatively, I can just do what my dad does and wear like 2 knee braces all the time.
That's fair. You could be like the next up and coming Forrest Gump. I don't
know how that relates, but okay.
Because he had those braces on his legs.
I'm no memory.
Have you never seen Forrest Gump?
I've seen Forrest Gump, I just don't remember that specific part.
I know what love is, Jenny.
Lieutenant Dan, you got magic legs.
Dude, I remember I was so excited to go to a Bubba Gump shrimp because I didn't think they were real. I just thought it was something in the movie. And then when I was a kid, I went to a Bubba Gump shrimp and it wasn't that good. And I was so sad. And
Forrest, what did you do?
I was telling you before the podcast, I had all these stupid thoughts as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I was such a dumb kid. Like, when I was young, like real young, I thought that when gas prices were going up, it meant that, like, Middle Eastern countries were mad at us. And, like, that's why...
Well, I mean, they were.
That's why the prices were going up. But I thought about it in, like, a childish kind of brain. We're like, oh, no, like, Saudi Arabia, doesn't...
George Bush took their crayons.
Saudi Arabia doesn't like our music anymore. The gas is going up. Like, I genuinely had no understanding of how gas prices worked.
Yep.
I also, as a kid, was unaware of the concept of death early on. I'm surprised I've never told this on the podcast. So at the age of 3.5, 4, I think it was like 3.5. At the age of like 3.5, I pushed my 1.5-year-old sister in a pond.
No, this was the first episode.
Was it?
Yeah. Because I just
dude.
listened to it this morning.
You finally were watching the podcast?
Yeah. I got so fucking
I didn't
bored.
understand the concept of death growing up, so I almost drowned my sister by pushing her into a pond as a joke. Like, it was...
Yep, a joke for a friend who you're concerned for now because he laughed.
Yeah. It's bad. The thing that I don't understand about childhood Caleb, my past, is I was so dumb about those types of things, but not for a second of my life did I believe Santa existed. Like, I was so mature in some ways, and then, like, an idiot in other ways.
Yeah. I mean, I believed in Santa, but in, like, the sense that, like, I mean, these gifts have to come from somewhere, and my family is pretty poor.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh. So, wait, did you, like, have that situation where richer families would get you gifts? Because I know people in my family who are poor are in those kind of, I don't know what you would call them, like groups, I guess, where a richer family donates presents to like poor families, and it's kind of a cool concept.
So we get like the Thanksgiving basket from our church every year.
I'm sorry, both of my eyelashes are stuck together right now.
I don't think we get.
It hurts.
I don't think we get like Christmas stuff from the church, but that's also very recent.
Okay.
The Thanksgiving thing, and we got it one year, and we told him, "Hey, don't do this anymore because we don't need it."
Okay.
And like give it to someone who actually needs it. Because I said we're poor, but we're not like obviously my parents could afford to get us gifts, and like my grandparents are significantly less poor than my parents. The only reason my parents are poor is because every time we start to get back on our feet and like financially recover, some other medical fucking thing decides to come out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, did you want to be like $30,000 in debt again?"
See, my family was the opposite, at least different in, it was kind of a slow exponential rise where as a young child, like through elementary school, middle school, we had no money at all. And then in high school, we started to have a little bit of money, not much, not enough to have pudding cups in my lunch, but a little bit more money.
Yo, you're gonna be salty about that for the rest of your life.
I am. Every time I go home now, and I open the pantry, I'll see pudding cups in there, and I'll be like, "What are these for?" And I ask it only to piss myself off. I ask it knowing I ask that question knowing the answer. And my parents will be like, "Oh, it's for your sister's lunch at school." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Great. I was eating
Wild.
I was eating saltines for like 8 years of my life straight, but she gets to eat pudding. And now my parents are like finally, I would say, middle class. So I'm hoping by the time I'm an adult, that exponential rise keeps going, and they can like finally buy me some pudding cups or something. Something.
As far as like my family goes, my dad makes a rate that should like keep us significantly around the center of middle class. Mm-hmm. But every time we start to financially recover from the last thing, something else comes up.
Yeah, it's a shame. That part of me was
my
worried.
My mom got cancer, and she got a fucking strep infection 2 years later, and then she got another strep infection. Oh, she also had West Nile when I was a kid.
How the fuck did your mom get West Nile disease, bro?
Dude, there was a dead bird on the patio while we were visiting my my aunt and uncle in Connecticut. And my dad, like, saw the bird through the window and was like, "Hey, there's no external damage to that bird. Probably it died of a disease. Hi, look at the bird. Go around." Through the window, because there weren't cell phones at the time. Uh-huh. They weren't prominent, and we didn't have them. So we couldn't, like, call or text and be like, "Hey, don't come in through the back door."
But, like, I feel like a better theory, though, is because birds aren't real and instead of controlled by the government, it might have been an attempt by the government to put West Nile...
To silence my mother?
To silence your mother. To put West Nile back into the general public.
Yeah.
If I was a doctor and your mom showed up to my waiting room, my doctor's room, and she goes, "I have West Nile virus," I'd be like, "Oh, really? Would you like me to inject the plague into you as well?"
No, but that's not even... She got West Nile when I was, like, 6, and then when I was 12, 13, 14, I don't remember, she got breast cancer, and so she's like, "Fuck it, I'm chopping my tits off."
I do that.
I would do that.
I would do that. Respect, honestly.
Yeah.
Respect,
she
dog.
Just fucking threw the whole titty away.
The whole damn titty.
The whole damn titty. Just threw it away. And she got them, like, reconstructed with stomach fat or whatever. And then she got a strep infection. Mm-hmm. And she has lymphedema because her lymph nodes in her titties are fucked up because she got them chopped off. So all the fluid just kind of goes into her arm. So she's got one giant Hulk arm.
Nice.
And one normal mom arm.
Okay.
And then she's got like a strep infection in her blood.
Okay.
So that can get out of control anytime, really. And it has done so, I think, 2 or 3 times. I forget how many. I'm losing track of how many times my mom has almost died.
Listen, boys, I'm trying real hard to find a way to make this entertaining. And I'm struggling. To be honest. But I'm sorry to hear that. I've really never had to deal with that, which is a privilege, I will admit. I've only had one family member die, and it was my grandfather. So, like, and I've never had anyone come close to dying in my family. So I don't know, I haven't really dealt with that much at all.
Oh, no.
You can...
My initial thought was I've had someone come real close. Because my brother actually did die. So...
Yeah.
But it's fucked that the way I thought of that wasn't like, "Oh, I did." It was, "Oh, someone in my family came real close."
I remember your brother's funeral was kind of funny, too. Because I know you as a, like... I know you, and I know how you perceive things.
Yeah.
How you want things to happen. So when I showed up to the viewing and everyone's just sobbing and stuff, I could see on your face you were mad.
Yeah.
You were mad.
Well, So the problem was that you fucking showed up right after some lady that, like, never fucking did anything with my brother or like didn't know my brother at all, came up and was like, oh my god, I knew him so well, and he's just so good. And I'm just like, are you grieving my brother more than me right now, even though you met him once?
Like, and I could tell, like, there were a bunch of people crying, a lot of tears at that funeral, and you were just looking annoyed. So, when it was my turn to walk past the casket, and then, you know, shake your dad's hand, your mom's hand,
Give
and
him a little kiss on the forehead.
and then you were behind your parents. I shaked your parents' hands, and then came up to you and shook your hand, and quietly, so no one else heard. I forget the exact wordage I used, but I basically said, this is similar to what I said. I shook your hand. I'm like, shitty day for a funeral, huh? And you just started laughing, and I'm like, all right, well, I did my job. My job here is done. You can go back to all the crying now. Oh man.
Return to your sobbing.
But I mean, I would be the same way too. I've talked about this on the Patreon episode, and I'll bring it up on the main. I'll talk about it on the free episode. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I don't have any animosity towards my mother for this, but when my dog died back in January, my childhood dog of 13 years, he was my best friend growing up. When he died, my mom was like uncontrollably sobbing the entire like time we were at the vet and like putting him down, and it kind of irked me a little because she was so upset, like so incredibly upset. It basically did not allow me to be upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that mentality of like, she is so incredibly upset right now, I can't be upset because like all of the upsetness, all of the sad...
There's a certain, like, quota for upsetness that's allowed in a room.
All of the sadness within a 6-mile radius is being used up by my mother, so now I can't be sad. So I had to be the, like, stern and blunt one when, like, the vet came in and, like, we're probably going to have to put him down. Like, we could try surgery and stuff, and I had to be the one to be like, put him down. To my own dog, and it sucked. So I was a little mad about that, but I can understand your...
I think also a part of, like, that lady that pissed me off, because it was the same lady that fucking did this shit, like, a couple weeks afterward, or, like, no, it was before the funeral. She was like, oh, well, how did he die? And I gave her the actual reason that he died, which he died of a seizure because he has, like, it's not epilepsy. It's like epilepsy where he has seizures a lot. But he died of a like extra bad seizure. She's like, oh, well, the coroner's report said it was a stroke. So didn't he die of a stroke? I'm like, maybe he had a stroke during the seizure. I don't know.
I like that she's trying to like correct you on your own brother's
death.
like
I wasn't like, there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. People are just the worst, honestly. That's why, like, my girlfriend and I have talked heavily about not having a real wedding. And it would piss my mother off if we didn't have a real wedding. But, like, we don't want to have a real wedding because there are so many fake people in our lives we don't want to have to invite or get shit for not inviting them. Like, we don't want them at our wedding, but also we know it would be so much drama if we don't invite them to our wedding.
Straight up, both me and Cheyenne are, like, either gonna do a similar thing where we don't have a real wedding, or if we do, like, choose to have a real wedding, it's gonna be real small.
Yeah, and, like, we've tried pacing out the options. Like, why don't we just have, like, a wedding in Alaska? So then we can invite...
Go somewhere where no one wants to go.
We can invite everyone, and then the fake people won't travel to Alaska. But, like, that's kind of obnoxious for the people we actually want at our wedding.
And that's also... depending on, like, how the fake people are, like, you could set a wedding in Timbuktu, and they'll be like, oh, I'll show up and have a nice vacation in Timbuktu, and also get to be annoying as shit with how fake I am.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so frustrating. What pisses me off is I'm 22 years old, and I'm already like, I feel like a cranky old man half the time.
Yeah.
Because there are way too many people in my, distant family. I'm not gonna say my immediate family because I love my immediate family, but there's way too many people in my distant family, and way too many people I have as friends that are adults, legal adults, and still act like high schoolers.
Grown-ass human beings.
They still act like petty high schoolers, and there's just so much drama, and I feel like it only is this way in our modern culture because of like social media and people thinking they're more important than they are.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just so tired of having all this random drama up here between family or friends.
Well, in a similar vein to that, and this is a specific. I have people like that in my extended family as well. But like one of them, when I was like starting to grow facial hair or whatever, I was talking to my one of my cousins who is also just starting to grow facial hair about shaving for whatever reason, and my dad taught me to shave and like pull up because it wouldn't shred my fucking face like Swiss cheese if I pulled up because it would be less pressure and it would be like lifting the hairs up and then like cutting them as close as you could get with a face that's 90% acne.
Yeah.
Because he had a similar problem, and he has hella acne scars all over his face. Mm-hmm. One of the uncles overheard this conversation and called my dad an idiot for telling me to do it that way. And I'm like, do you see my face? What do you think is going to happen if I pull down? It's gone.
Yeah. That's, I think, the most fucked up thing that, like, God decided should be final. Where, like, if you have really bad acne...
Yeah.
Already horrible for you and your social life. But then if you have really bad acne, it's going to leave scars, which is only worse for you.
Yeah, no. That's why I grow this out, is because it covers up most of them.
You can't escape it. Like, thankfully, I didn't have really bad acne, so I don't have any acne scars. But I feel bad for you. And it's kind of a similar thing with dandruff. So, like, I have dandruff, and...
I don't.
All throughout, like, middle school, high school, it was a little annoying, but it wasn't too bad. And it still isn't horrible to this day. But because it wasn't too bad, I never... really went out of my way to prevent dandruff.
Yeah.
Then when I got to college and I was trying to, be more social, get out more, just be a more acceptable human being. When I got to college, I Googled how to get rid of dandruff, and it was then that I learned you can never get rid of dandruff if you have it. It's just a genetic thing. And that was one of the most soul-crushing things for me. So it's like, I'm just stuck with it. Like, I thought it was because I, like, showered wrong or I used too much shampoo. It's just because I was born this way, baby. Like, oh my God, it's obnoxious.
That's one thing that I kind of hate about, like, my family's gene pool, I guess, is in my family, you're either real fat or real skinny, and it's looking like real skinny without effort, I should say. Yeah. And it's looking like I didn't get the skinny without effort genes, which is bullshit, and I'm mad about it.
My metabolism is starting to catch up with me, man. All throughout my childhood, was underweight. Like, my BMI was underweight. I was skinny. I was a skeleton boy.
I mean, still my favorite example is in Hitler and Nazism, when you realized you could go like this, and it would just pulsate
I
your
can
whole
still
arm.
kind of do it. So there's just one day in Hitler and Nazism class, which sounds so weird out of context.
Yeah.
Zach and I had Hitler and Nazism together in 12th grade.
As an alternative to another history credit?
No, I still took a history class that...
Oh, no, yeah.
It was just an elective for
government.
me. It was... Yeah, government was our history class, technically. Our social studies class in 12th grade was government. And I took Hitler and Nazism as an elective, so I could not take any, like, science elective.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people would take... You either had to take one science elective or one social studies elective. And a lot of people would take, like, anatomy in science, which was fun if you got the right teacher. Because one of the anatomy teachers... His curriculum was, he gave you an anatomy coloring book. Like, it was scientific, it was very official, but it was a coloring book. And every day in class, you just color in one of the pages. The other anatomy teacher was really strict, really tough. And sadly, the year that we were in 12th grade, the
Yeah.
year that we could have taken anatomy, that coloring book teacher was not teaching at the school that year. He was gone for 1 or 2 years, and then he came back.
Yeah.
And that was one of the years. So I wasn't going to take anatomy with the tough teacher. Couldn't take coloring book anatomy. So instead I had to take a social studies elective.
Yep.
And I took Hitler and Nazism. There were other science electives. I just suck at science.
Yeah. Well, I think it's wild that, like, there were only 3 science teachers in the high school,
I know.
and one of them only did chemistry.
It was crazy.
And she was a kick-ass chemistry teacher, and we got to do a lot of shit with chemicals.
Yeah,
in chemistry,
our high school,
which is better than like any other science class I've taken at that school, because I was never in the honors class for anything except for that 1 year I spent in honors English.
Okay.
Wait, no, it was honors history that year.
Figure it out.
I don't remember.
Okay,
it was history.
Continue.
But because I wasn't in honors, I was usually put with like rowdier kids, but like the lower end of like your average kids. So we never got to dissect anything. No matter how well our class behaved, there wasn't time at the end of the year when they got to dissections.
I got to dissect a frog, and that was about it. And my frog had babies. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and a little sad.
do vaguely remember that, but that was in like 8th grade.
I enjoyed doing dissections. I wasn't creeped out at it at all, but I don't know. I wasn't good at science, so I didn't take any science electives.
Yeah.
So instead, I took Hitler and Nazism. Zach took Hitler and Nazism.
Do you remember?
And just one day in class, just to wrap the story up because we
Yeah.
keep getting off topic. Just one day in class, I was looking at my arm, and I was just doing this with my middle finger, and you can still kind of see it to this day. I'm just doing this with my middle finger, and you can see the muscles in my arm moving because my arm was so skinny back then. You can still kind of see it today,
Yeah.
but like back then, because I was so skinny, you could see everything moving.
Yeah.
Like, you could put the 6 of hearts behind my arm, and you'd be able to tell, you'd be able to read that it was the 6 of hearts every time because I was so skinny and pasty. But like even now, you can still kind of see at least one of the muscles moving when I do this. I don't know if the camera's picking it up.
It's more of like flexing that area as opposed to when he did it in class. It was just like this muscle right here went like that.
Like, it was It was really creepy.
And like you could see like the tendons on the muscle too,
Yeah.
through which is fucking. Basically, everyone around us for like a 3-mile radius was like, "Oh, that's gross and freaky," and both of us were just
I
like,
showed so many people.
do it more.
I showed everyone in the class. I even showed my teacher. Like, everyone was fascinated with it. I felt like the cool kid of the day. But yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. It was just something I randomly discovered in 12th grade. I'd never noticed it before.
Back to the science thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that experiment that I think had Gatorade and like you swabbed your cheek and got a vial of your own DNA at the end?
Yep.
That was awesome, and no one got it right in my class.
I barely got it right, like just a little bit. It was like half broken, but I got a little bit of DNA.
Yeah. If I knew how to do it now, I fucking would, because carrying like a little vial with your DNA like expanded in it is like a cool concept. And I'm mad they like had us do that in middle school. I mean, it's freaky as fuck.
You say cool. I would argue this is why we're on a slightly different social statuses in high school. Because I wouldn't want to wear my DNA around, and you would.
I don't think... Okay, so I don't think like wearing it as a necklace, but I think it'd make a cool keychain.
Yeah, maybe.
But they basically gave it like you that project when you were too young to realize that maybe you would like this as a keychain.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There are some crazy science projects. I remember making ice cream in science class.
Damn.
That was fun. Like, making it with chemicals, but safely. Like, using, like, chemicals that got really, really cold to turn, like, cream and stuff into ice cream. And obviously you would have it inside of a bag so the chemicals didn't touch. But that was so much fun.
There was one thing where, like, the chemistry teacher showed us how to, like, do the equation to switch, like, the meters per second to, like, different measurements of time.
How to
and
convert
distance.
to the metric system, basically.
No, just like different, like meters per second to kilometers per hour.
Oh, okay.
That type of thing. But she did it to an extreme where she took like centimeters per decasecond or whatever and had us convert it to furlongs per fortnight.
As
And
you do in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, which was like 27 steps, and it was kind of cool at the end to like see that number transition. And I was also one of the first people in my class to get it right, even though I sucked ass at that when we learned it in math class.
I mean, I'm proud of you.
I'm not.
My peak moment in high school was definitely 9th grade field day.
Yeah.
And the way our field day worked, a lot of schools are like this, I've learned. This is, I think, one of the few things our school does similar to other schools.
Yeah.
Like, other schools don't happen in a trailer. Their setting is not a trailer.
Other schools don't have a woods out back that you go into to catch frogs.
But our field day was very similar to other schools where all of the grades, the 4 grades in high school, kind of battled each other. And one thing they would always do is a dodgeball tournament. And in 9th grade, we were coming in as the freshmen. You know, no one really expected much of us. The way the dodgeball tournament was set up, which was honestly kind of stupid looking back, is we were the freshmen and we had to go up against the juniors first, and then the seniors played the sophomores, which doesn't make any sense because like the seniors are the top seed if we're speaking in sports terms. They're the best class, strongest class because they're oldest. They should be going against freshmen, right? Am I not crazy by thinking that? Like the seniors and freshmen should play, and then the juniors and sophomores should play.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we beat
Well, that's the story.
seniors in our junior year?
We did in our junior year, but the story I'm telling is from freshman year, Zach.
Yeah.
Don't get off topic, Zach.
Well, I'm saying
It's
that
very
those
important that we stay on
sophomores
topic, Zach.
would have been the bottom seed if we were better than them.
Okay, true. But yeah, basically the way the dodgeball tournament worked our freshman year is freshmen were against juniors, and whoever won that advanced to the championship. Sophomores were against seniors. Whoever won that, aka the seniors, won that, obviously, advanced to the championship. So we were up against juniors, and one of the little rules our gym teacher had for dodgeball was if you were the last person standing on your team, and we had a pretty big gym. It was the only good thing our school had, honestly, was a nice, huge gym. If you were the last person standing, and you threw a ball across the entire gymnasium, and it hit the backboard of the basketball hoop, if it hit the backboard of the basketball hoop at the other side of the gym, everyone on your team came back in. So it was kind of close, given we were freshmen playing against juniors. And there were like 4 juniors left and 2 of us left. And it was me and this little scrawny ass girl who definitely was on drugs. And I'm like, just get out, just get out.
Which? Oh, I need you to tell me which one after.
And I kept telling her, I'm like, just purposely get out. Let me let me try to get us back in the game. And she's like, no, I want to do it. I'm like, you're an idiot. So like,
this was one of those girls that could throw the ball maybe 6 feet.
Maybe. So I'm arguing with her for like a minute while trying to dodge these freaking dodgeballs. Finally, she gets hit, not purposefully. She gets hit because she's an idiot. So I'm the last freshman left against 4 juniors, and I pick up a ball off the ground, I throw it in the air, and I swear to God, in that moment, time kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
I felt in like slow motion while the ball's still in the air. One ball hit me in the chest. Another one hit me in the shoulder, so I'm definitely out if this doesn't connect on the backboard. It's going up, going up. Not only does it hit the backboard, it bounces off, it goes into the fucking net. Everyone's back in the game. I'm back in the game even though I just got hit, technically. And we ended up winning because all of the freshmen are alive, and there were only 4 juniors left, and once they got down to the last junior, he didn't hit the backboard, so it was over. And like,
which is wild because the intimidation on that, like, because what it basically was we on our end we saw it hit the backboard, everyone shouted and just rushed back onto the field.
Everyone.
So the intimidation on our end must have been through the fucking roof.
I just remember everyone screaming when I hit the backboard. And my friend Blake ran up to me. The game wasn't even over yet. There were still 4 juniors left in the game. But my friend Blake was so excited, he ran up to me and just lifted me into the air. And the game wasn't even over yet. But that was probably my peak high school moment. And then, I don't know, maybe outscoring this really douchey, like, smart kid on a test was really fun. There's this one kid in our grade who was such like a know-it-all, and he always acted like he was smarter than other people, or at least smarter than people who weren't in AP classes. So when I had a class with him that wasn't an AP class, he acted like he was the smart AP student and I was the lowly honor student. And then when I outscored him on a test, he didn't believe me. So then I showed him
Was this the class president?
No.
Our senior? Oh.
No. So he didn't believe me. I show him my test score. Like, I hand him my exam, and he ripped it in half. Like this little goody two-shoes prick. Never seen the light of day. Spends every hour in his room doing homework and studying. Rips my 100% perfect A+ exam in half because he was mad I got a better score than him and I wasn't an AP kid. And I'm like, you're just bad, kid. You're just an idiot. Like, you got book smarts, but I guarantee you, I come at you with like a carved stick and pretend it's a knife, you'll give me all your money every day on the street. Like, don't pretend. Don't pretend. Oh my god. Anyways, we gotta go soon. I know the podcast isn't done yet. We're probably gonna finish it with this topic. We are making another pizza review, baby.
We are.
Zach and I have been making pizza reviews on my channel, where Zach plays the part of a cameraman and I play the part of the pizza reviewer. But it's it's not like a one character video. Like, his cameraman character is influential enough to count as a character, I would say. They're fun videos.
The cameraman interacts.
They're like half scripted, half improv, and I'm really excited. We're gonna go record one after this podcast. We've just been doing a ton of content lately.
Yeah.
Like, I've been putting a ton of content on the Patreon. So one thing we've changed in the last like 2 weeks is, in the past, the Patreon was only Basement Boys related content, and now I've uploaded 2 videos that are from pretty much my channel. So we're uploading, like, I guess the simplest way to describe it is the Patreon originally hosted bonus videos, bloopers, and behind the scenes of the podcast. It still hosts those 3 things. It also hosts bonus videos, bloopers, and behind the scenes of my channel, my YouTube channel, and bonus videos, bloopers, and behind the scenes of Zach's channel.
If I ever upload anything.
If Zach ever uploads. So, like, we went from 3...
Which I have something in the works. It's just going to be 1 to 7 weeks until it comes out.
So, like, I've uploaded a Mario Super Sluggers video where I was playing against a viewer, and that was fun on the Patreon, and I uploaded bloopers of one of my recent pizza reviews on the Patreon. So, we're doing a ton more content on the Patreon now, and most of that stuff you can get for $2 a month. It's fun. Because before we were just doing, an extra episode of the podcast every week, and maybe, we would make, like, a video together, a Basement Boys related video for the Patreon. But now now that we've expanded the Patreon to take in content from both of our personal YouTube channels individually, it's a ton of content now, baby. I'm so excited. I'm very glad. Of all things, that's the one we stuck to the most, because I think we had uploaded like 15 videos of the Patreon before people started supporting.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did, because now we have someone supporting the Patreon, and we have like 18 videos on the Patreon, so if new people look at it, they have a reason to support because of 18 videos worth of content. And in my opinion, it's all good content. A lot of good content. Bonus podcast episodes, bloopers. I'm having fun with the Patreon. The Patreon is making me want to, like, get back into YouTube hardcore. So, like, I can shout out our Patreon on my YouTube because I'm uploading some of my videos, like my individual videos there. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, we're going to go record a pizza review soon. I think the pizza we should review is just the Walmart brand pizza, honestly.
All right, let's do it.
It's got to be. I mean... The crazy thing is, we've both had it before.
Yeah.
Walmart brand things. Walmart's brand is called Great Value, right?
Yeah. Or Sam's Choice, but the one we have is Great Value.
Great Value products and just Walmart branded products in general are usually so trashy. The last time I had a Walmart brand granola bar, my tongue could not feel the sensation of liquid for like 5 days. It was so dry. I was eating sand.
wild.
But the Walmart branded pizza is so good. I'm honestly excited we're about to do this video because we're just gonna get to eat pizza.
Getting more and more hungry.
We're gonna get to eat pizza
As
and
we
record
go.
a video. But yeah, I guess we'll close the podcast out a little early just to once again shout out the Patreon. Please check it out if you haven't. We would greatly appreciate it. Most of the content you can get for just $2 a month, and then there's some bonus content at the higher tiers. I think I uploaded our first ever $10 tier video to the Patreon. So our highest tier is $10, our lowest tier is $2. But no one was supporting us at $10, so I hadn't really thought to upload any $10 videos yet. And then I finally did recently, I think. So now, like, if you do support for $10 a month, you do get a little bit of bonus content.
A little extra slice of content.
I don't know. I feel like $2 a month is I'm very happy with that. I didn't want to go down to $1 a month because there's two of us, so we gotta at least share the money somehow. And I didn't want to go more than $2 a month because we're doing like videos every week on the Patreon, but we don't have any notoriety yet, so it would be, in my opinion,
You'll give us $20 a month even though you've never heard of us.
it'd be way too bold to try to ask for more than $2 a month on our Patreon.
I think we initially wanted to start it with like $5 lifetime.
Yeah, so I didn't understand how Patreon worked before we started the podcast. So back in 2019, before we had even recorded an episode, I'm like, well, instead of doing a monthly Patreon, what if we could do like a lifetime Patreon where they donate $5 a lifetime, and then they're always they're always a supporter. They always get access to the Patreon. And while that would have been cool, it's not something you can do on Patreon, sadly.
Yeah.
It was just a fever dream I had, apparently.
Fever dream.
Dude, we forgot to talk about... We were both going to talk about relationship posts.
Yeah.
And instead we just...
Do you want to still?
we don't have time.
Do we?
Mine's long. We'll just save it. We'll save it for
long.
next episode.
All right.
We'll save it for next
We'll
episode.
open with those next episodes.
Next episode we're going to talk about some r/relationship advice posts because those are a doozy. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Again, apologies that the upload schedule of this podcast has been very bad lately. When we first started making these, they were going out every week on Thursday. And then some weeks, we would upload them like a day late on Fridays. And now Fridays have basically become the new upload schedule. They go up on Fridays. Yep. This one might honestly be up on a Saturday because we're recording it on a Friday. And I don't know if I'll have it edited and uploaded by the end of the day. Regardless, we appreciate any support. Apologies on the bad upload schedule. I know it's not ideal, but at least we're uploading every week.
Yeah.
We've held true to that. We're 12 episodes in and we haven't given up. I'm amazed. How do we do this? Why do we do this?